So now that we're in Keeper, I'm going to give you an example of setting up an account. This is just a tip of the iceberg as far as what you can do with Keeper, but I just want you to see a couple of the features live in action. And then my recommendation is once you open up your Keeper account, play around with it, get to know the features and how they all work. But again, I just wanted to show you a couple of small things to get you started. So this is a demo account. This is not my real account. I set this up just for training purposes so that I could give you an example. So everything that I have is in a different account. This one is completely blank. You would typically see all of the different websites, logins, all that stuff would be here and visible in different files. But of course, here I don't have any files set up yet. So in order to set up my first account, I'm going to come over here to create new. And this option will give me either a record, folder, shared folder, or a payment card. I'm going to pick the record. And then on a new record, what type of record is it? I'm going to keep the record as a login, and we're going to set up a Gmail email. So I'll hit next, and I want to show you here a couple of things. So we're going to bounce back and forth between here and a new Gmail account. So I'm going to set up a fake Gmail account, and it doesn't really matter what for training. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. It worked. Just for training 123 at Gmail. Again, this is not an actual account that I ever plan on using. So what I'll do is I'm going to bounce back over here to the password generator. As I said in the other video that I made, I don't ever go in and make up passwords anymore. I am now solely using my password vault to create the password. So the only password I ever have to really focus on is the password to get into my password vault. So the way I do it is I come over here to password once I've set up the new record. And over on the right, there's this little dice. And when I hit that, it spins and it creates a random password. Now I'm going to show you the password and I'm going to show you some of the options. So if you come down under here to character length, I can shorten the length down to 10, 9, 8, or I can lengthen it to 50. I can go actually as far out as 100 characters. So you make the password as complex as you want. Remember that it's sometimes there are rules on the individual sites as far as how long they can be or how short they can be. Typically, I'll go somewhere around 12 or 15. So we'll just leave it at 15 for the examples here. It's not really that important. But what is important is you can tell the Keeper password scrambler what you want in the password. Do you want special characters? You can take them out. You can add them back in. Do you want numbers? You can take them out or you can add them back in. Do you want capitals? You can take them out and it would be all lowercase, or you can put them in and there'll be a combination of lowercase, uppercase, special characters, and numbers. If you want to scramble it a few times, go ahead and scramble it, and I will take this one. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to bring it over here, and I'm going to paste it here and show the password. Again, it's a random password that nobody, even myself, would not be able to guess. So as long as I know the website and I know the username or the login information, I'll be fine. So in that case, I do want to make sure that I capture the login here. So that would be at gmail.com. So that's going to be my login just for training123 at gmail.com. And then here is my password. Now, in some cases, that's it. I'll just save the info, and then you can see here it's not showing my password. So even if we were in my live account, you're not going to see the passwords unless I click on the eyeball. And when you hover over the password, it's got this little copy password box. I can copy it without actually even looking at what the passwords are. So in a lot of cases, I'm not even really paying attention to what the passwords are. The only password that is important to me is my password to get into my Keeper account. So now let's come back over to here. I already have the password in. I have the username set up to manage my account. And then we're going to go into security. And you'll see in a lot of your crypto accounts or your digital assets, you're going to see two-factor authentication. I firmly do believe in setting up the additional layer of security. So you're going to have a lot of these two-factor authenticators. You can have codes sent to your phone or sent to your email, but it's time consuming. They don't always work. So I would prefer to have 2FA set up wherever I can. I don't want to do it on something that I don't really need that extra layer of security for. But if I feel that it's something that I want to protect, if it's available, I want to have the two-factor authenticator turned on. So I'm going to go into the Authenticator app and set up the Authenticator. Okay, so now it's giving me a QR code. Now there's a couple of different ways to do this. If you're logged in from Keeper from your phone, you can just scan the QR code. But if you're on your computer, then what you can do is take a screenshot of the QR code, which is what I just did here. And then I'm going to go back into my account here, and I'm going to upload that QR code that I just took a picture of desktop. Okay, so here's the QR code that I just took a picture of, and it's on my desktop. If you're on a Mac, it is Command Shift 4 to take a screenshot. I'm not sure what it would be on the PC, but I use a Mac, so it's super easy. I just take a screenshot, and I'm going to hit upload. So now you'll see I've set up the two-factor code. So if you don't know how to take screenshots, there are other ways to potentially do it. You can log into Keeper from your phone and scan that QR code. But you can set up 2FA right in the account. And now if you look here, the way 2FA works is, I think it's about every 30 or 60 seconds, a new code will refresh. So you'll see this as we kind of move on. You'll see that code will continually refresh. Additionally, I could, in this case, it's a fake Gmail account, so I wouldn't really do this, but I could put in the website address, and that way, when I save the file, I can actually launch right to the website address from here. And if you have the browser extension hooked up, which is in the settings, and actually when you come through the setup, it'll ask you if you want to set up the browser extension. But if you do, then you can just launch to the website, and it'll fill in your login, and it'll fill in your password automatically. It won't do the 2FA automatically. You'll have to do that. And it's the same thing here with the 2FA. You can copy it, or you can do the little eyeball so you can see it, or you can just copy it. And now it's copied. So let's see, actually, where was I? Now, okay, so I'm going to hit copy, and then we'll hit next, enter in the code, I'm going to paste and verify. So now my authenticator is now set up on this fake Gmail account. So it's just an added layer of security, but I love having my 2FA in my password vault as compared to using 2FA on my Google Authenticator or on Microsoft Authenticator or any other authenticator that would be an app that's on my phone. This is on the cloud. I don't have to worry about losing my phone or, let's say, somebody stealing my laptop or my laptop breaking down or my phone breaking or any of those things because it's all in my password vault. So I never have to worry about it. And once that code is there, I am safe. Now, in addition, what I do is just to be extra secure, I will take the QR code. In this case, it was, I know it's fake, but I would say Gmail, and then I would put the email address in. I have a folder where I store all my QR codes. So that way, if I ever do have an issue, I have my QR codes stored in a folder. I can just go back in and re-upload them. Or if I ever wanted to put them on another authenticator app, I can do that using the folder of all the stored QR codes. So now I have my 2FA here. Again, if you wanted to put the browser extension plugin on here, then you would be able to not just launch, because I can launch to this site, but if I don't have the browser extension, it's not going to fill in my login and my password automatically, but you can use the plugin so that you can launch to the site and everything will fill in automatically. In addition, let's say that I wanted to put in my seed phrase. Seed phrases are essentially your key to getting into certain accounts. So those seed phrases are typically 12 words. So I can click on custom field and I can make this seed phrase, and I'm just going to make up a seed phrase. Let's say it was chair, 2, desk, 3, phone, 4, seed, 5, air, 6, computer, and you get the idea. But you would essentially have the ability to you can either copy and paste or type in the seed phrase. And typically with the seed phrase, you need to know the order of the words so that when you are asked, it'll say, what is the third word of your seed phrase? What is the seventh word of your seed phrase? So you need to have them in a specific order. Now, let's say I have a backup code that I need that would be a backup code for your 2FA. So if your 2FA goes down and you can't access it, there's a backup code, which is a one-time backup code to bypass the 2FA. Again, I would hit custom field, text, and this would be my backup code. And I would say copy and paste it, but it'll be a bunch of random letters and numbers that will be your backup code. So you would just copy and paste whatever backup code they give you on the website. Now, also, I can add photos or files if I needed to. I can put in, if there's a PIN code, I can put the PIN code here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and now my PIN code is stored. And then let's say I wanted to put in, we'll say multi-line text, and I wanted to put in instructions. So, for example, When you log into this account, you will find that it is fake. And I made it up for training only. Right? But if you are building your password vault and you think down the line, if God forbid something happened to you and somebody needed to access these accounts, you want them to get as much info on each account as needed. So you may want to have instructions of what it is or why you have an account there, or I don't know, anything that you might think as a note or as a reminder. So you might say notes about account or whatever. And so now you have notes, PIN code, backup code, seed phrase, right? So I have all of this info is now stored. I have my 2FA. I can launch to the website. If I use the browser extension, it'll fill in my login and my password. I have the title. So I've now essentially built a full and complete fake for training purposes only, but I've built a full and complete record. And what I did, once I started playing with Keeper and I saw all the capabilities, which I'm just giving you a piece of the tip of the iceberg on Keeper, but once I started to really get a full grasp on what the capabilities of Keeper was, then I decided I'm going to take the time to go through every one of my accounts that are in these random journals or any account that I have in my business, my personal life, bank accounts, credit cards, everything. And I'm going to go log into each website and I'm going to change the password using the password scrambler. And I'm going to put the website in. If there's 2FA, I'm going to undo the 2FA that I had maybe on Microsoft Authenticator or on Google Authenticator and redo it with my Keeper account. I wanted everything in one place, everything organized, again, not just for me as far as protecting myself and also making sure that I'm organized and I don't forget this. I've had so many times where I'll get on a Zoom or I'll be working with somebody and they don't remember their password and they go to do a password reset and then it asks them a secret question. That's another thing you can put in here is if you wanted to have the secret security questions and answers. What was your first pet? And then, whatever, Johnny could be my first pet. That's not accurate, but you get the idea. You can put in the security questions and answers, whatever you have in regards to that account. You're essentially building a profile, so you want as much as you can. And I've had so many times where people forget where they put their backup codes, or they forget where their seed phrases, or they don't even remember doing it. And that's why I always recommend starting here for somebody, because again, if I could go back and just redo everything that I've built, I would have been much more organized with all of the passwords, the seed phrases, the backup codes, and the two-factor authentication. This has been one of the best tools that I have in my tool belt. So again, I hope that this helps, just kind of seeing one record being built, giving you an idea of the capabilities of what's possible. And now, obviously, as you go to get your account set up, you just want to make sure that you have as much info as you possibly can. So go into Keeper, play around with it. You're not going to break anything. Just go ahead and play with it a little bit. And then as you get to know it a little bit better, the more you get to know it, I think the more comfortable you'll become. And remember, the only password you need to ever remember again is the one you use to get into Keeper. Beyond that, you don't need to know any of these passwords. I would never remember this password. So, you just want to make sure that you keep the account password for Keeper in a safe and secure place. So hopefully this video helped, and we'll see you on the next one.